I'd like to start this week's video by asking you guys how you feel after the Bills' 21-17 loss to the Dolphins. Now, I can tell you how I normally feel after the Bills lose, especially to a division rival. It kind of ruins the rest of my Sunday. I mean, I still watch football on Sunday and Monday Night Football and whatnot, but I'm really just in kind of this bad sports mood, at least, until I don't know, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday of the following week. It just it weighs down on me. I get headaches at night after the games and stuff. I'm serious. I'm not making this up. Maybe you're telling me, wow, this guy takes it way too seriously. But hey, you like what you like, and this is what I like. I like it enough to have made a video blog about the team, talking to myself and nobody else but myself for 10 years now. So that should be, a testament to my fanhood, so to speak. But how do you feel? Like I said, I normally feel downtrodden, maybe is the word. But this week, I actually didn't feel that bad. Obviously, having watched the game from start to finish, and when it was over, sure, there were some things that I was pretty upset about, but overall, I thought, this is not terrible. I watched our quarterback put up a career game a week after putting up a career game, and now I feel like I'm witnessing the growth. Is it happening before my eyes? That's what it felt like to me watching the game on Sunday. So when they didn't come out on top, naturally I was a little bit upset, but bigger picture in mind, the Bills were 4-7. Like I said last week, I wasn't really keen on them really making the playoffs. I wasn't too high on that happening, a 4-7 team winning out. I kind of just sort of look at the positives of this loss. Despite the result, look at the bigger picture. It seems to me, Josh Allen has to be growing on you, right? He has to be. And you might be like, oh, well, he's running the football too much. You might be right. Well, he only ran it 9 times on Sunday for 135 yards. He set the franchise record for rushing yards in a game by a quarterback 2 weeks in a row. He set the record in Week 12 against the Jaguars. He broke the record last week in Week 13 he broke his own record in Week 13 against Miami. He is, I believe, the only quarterback in the Super Bowl era to rush for more than 95 yards in consecutive games. The only one. Him and Michael Vick are the only guys to have 3 rushes of 25 or more yards in a single game, I believe. At least in the past almost 30 years. That's him and Michael Vick. That's it. So, I don't want to understate how valuable his athleticism and his legs are to his game. It's kind of amazing to me that coming off of a week where he ran all over Jacksonville, Miami sort of just sat back and were content to let him throw. He wasn't really outrunning people, was he? He showed some dynamic escapability in the pocket, which was great, especially on the last play, the Clay, which, we'll talk about a little bit of that. But he wasn't really, it didn't seem like he was outrunning people. He was just, there's just all this green in front of me. I guess I'll just take some yardage here. I don't think he really even got hit that much. He snuck it once for 2 yards. So other than that, he had 8 carries for 133. He was, it was unbelievable. I'm sitting there watching it, maybe saying a little bit sarcastically, Tom Brady can't do that. It's just a fact. Tom Brady doesn't do that. He's one of the best quarterbacks throwing the football, though, so it doesn't really matter. But I was also not disappointed with the way Josh Allen threw the football, to be honest with you. I couldn't tell you what happened in the first half or the first quarter and a half, where he started 1 of 6 or something like that for -6 yards. The only completion was the screen McCoy that went backwards. But in the second half, I'm watching him and I'm just oh, that's a great throw over the middle. The touchdown to Zay, both touchdowns to Zay. He almost threw a 3rd touchdown to Zay. That was definitely, I don't want to say definitely, but most likely his fault. Zay was open. And I think he might have been anticipating that Zay would stop on the route, but Zay was open. I mean, that's got to be a completion. He slinging it deep for Robert Foster and overthrows him by 2 yards maybe, if that, and it throws it 67 yards in the air. I mean, the guy is. The word gunslinger gets overused, I think, in the NFL, but like that's sort of how he is. Like, he will throw the ball downfield, and what I noticed on Sunday was him taking. I hate like football idioms, like taking what the defense gives you, and like I know that's a real thing. I know that it's not like momentum. It's a real thing, taking what the defense gives you. I guess I noticed him completing passes that I hadn't really seen him complete too much, or at least too often, too frequently. Like, just shorter plays across the middle and drags and outs and corners and stuff like that. And, like, okay, like, he looks like a real quarterback right now, but this is where the problem, I suppose, lies, is it a fluke? It's probably not a fluke that he put it together 2 games in a row, you would think. I mean, this past Sunday they got the most first downs they've had all season, the second most total yards, 415. It's his most passing yards since week 2 against the Chargers, and his first career start, it was his most passing yards he's ever thrown for, 245, threw for 231 on Sunday. The 2 touchdowns, left 3 more on the board, really. The Foster play, the Zay play, and the Clay play. Obviously not designed to rhyme, but it did rhyme. So, what was I going to say? The 2 picks. The 1 pick I don't even count. The first pick is Xavier Howard. Whatever. End of the half. You got to throw it. You don't try to Nathan Peterman it and hope that you're going to run 40 yards into the wall of 9 players waiting for you at the goal line. He threw it. He got picked off. So what? So I'm really only counting 1 interception. It was definitely his fault because he let Xavier Howard undercut that route, and then Kelvin Benjamin completely gave up on it. There's a good transition. Kelvin Benjamin, deuces. Andre Holmes, I didn't hate as a player, didn't hate as a special team player at all. Like, you had 1 year left on your deal, and it clearly wasn't really. They weren't interested in bringing you back, and the same goes for Kelvin Benjamin. With Kelvin Benjamin, it's just amazing that somebody could go out there and so apparently look like he doesn't care, and that they would just let him keep playing. And I hats off to the coaching staff finally, and Brandon Beane for just being like, okay, well, I mean, McDermott even brought up like, well, we took a swing on this guy. It cost us a 3rd round pick. That kind of sucks, but we got to take swings, and I agree, but. Looking ahead, you got 4 games left, 3 of them at home. You're not making the playoffs. You're at 4-8, and get Ray McLeod out there. Isaiah McKenzie, let him keep playing. Why wouldn't you keep playing? It looks like he's at least in line for a camp invite next year. But Ray's definitely going to be there. Robert Foster's definitely going to be there, and Zay Jones is obviously going to be there. So Deontay Thompson, maybe. I don't know, a nice veteran presence. He could be the veteran presence because Kelvin Benjamin was. Could anybody really have really respected his game? I mean, I don't want to say him because I don't know what he's like off the field. I genuinely couldn't tell you. He might be a really caring and giving person for all I know, but like on the field, and it was why is he getting the 50% snap share? I guess would be the question. Like finally, you know what? It's done. It's done. He'll always be the answer to who was Josh Allen's first career touchdown pass to. Okay, Kelvin Benjamin. That's the answer. But so long, maybe addition by subtraction. We'll see. I think that I'm eager. I'm eager to see Zay Jones because he's sort of shedding that like bust stigma about him off. I don't know who was calling him that. I don't know why anyone would call him that. I've heard people call him that, but he seems to be coming into his own as a receiver. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Josh Allen, obviously. The Bills are 4-8, and like I can't wait to keep watching them just because of the youth on offense and the way it's finally starting to click. I'd like to see Jason Kroom maybe get some more snaps. Logan Thomas is a free agent, but like I think the Bills are kind of in a position where they can't really wait to cut Charles Clay. I think that they save something like $6-ish million by releasing him next year. So I would anticipate that is how that will go down, especially after Sunday. The one thing I guess I'll say about Charles Clay is the play that he didn't make on Sunday. I don't think he knew that he had to score, or that he didn't have to score. It was 4th and 11, not 4th and goal. And it seemed like he was trying to stay in the end zone and make the catch, and he didn't have to do that because they could have had the first down and still had time to get in. And you want to score, obviously. There's nobody near you. And Allen, it wasn't the best throw for sure. The wobbler out of there, but, I mean, make the play. Just make the play. Anyway, Jets again this week. We played the Jets just about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Beat them 41-10. That was obviously with Matt Barkley. They are probably a little bit salty about that. I see Jamal Adams saying that it's personal. Okay. Oh my God! Kiko Alonso, washed. Had to bring that up. I was thinking like, what other player was I going to bring up before Jamal Adams? Kiko Alonso, hilarious, good flex, do whatever you think. I guess I set a precedent last week by mentioning Jalen Ramsey and the Bills getting the last laugh because they won, and so sure you get the last laugh, but like Josh Allen turned you inside out multiple times. You flexed when you stopped a run for 0 yards. Cool. Don't care. Imagine thinking that he's that good of a player. I'm done with that. But wow, hilarious. So glad he's gone. So glad. Anyway, Jamal Adams is saying it's personal, so sure. Sam Darnold looks like he's going to be back. He's going to start for the Jets after missing about a month. He last played the week before they met the Bills, and then suffered that foot sprain. So the Jets are on a 6-game losing streak of their own. They just blew a 16-0 lead to the Titans, and 16-0, and then 19-6. They allowed a touchdown. They allowed 10 points within the last. I think it was 10 points in the last 6 minutes. Game-winning touchdown with 36 seconds to go to Corey Davis. So, I mean, they're reeling. They've only gone over 300 total yards once since their last win against the Colts back in Week 6. They have over 100 rushing yards once going back to Week 6, their last win. It was this past week against the Titans. They have allowed over 400 yards in 3 consecutive games. I like the Bills in this game, especially the way the offense seems to finally be becoming an offense. The one hesitation I have about this is the Minnesota game, because we saw it so early on with Josh Allen, and then he sort of regressed to throwing for like 80 yards, and I'm like, it makes me a little nervous. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, he put career game on top of career game. I don't think he's necessarily going to have a career game again this week, but I expect it to continue to look like, a real offense. I would like to see LaShawn McCoy more involved, obviously. I think that's his story almost every week. Hopefully that's just something that they can figure out. I'm not too disappointed with the line play with Wyatt Teller and Jeremiah Searles and whoever's playing right guard. Really, at this point, John Miller might be back. Josh Allen only got sacked 2 times this past week. I think the sacks have been down. The pass protection's been better. Maybe the run blocking hasn't. But like I said, I like the Bills. I don't really love the talent on the Jets' offense is that much better than the Bills. I've talked about this in the past. They have Robbie Anderson and Quincy Enunwa, who's been a favorite of Darnold. Isaiah Crowell's there, no Bilal Powell. Eli McGuire's the backup running back. He's kind of taken over Powell's role. Trenton Cannon's there. Chris Herndon is the tight end. They're a better team on defense than they are on offense, just like the Bills. But the Bills are favored for the first time in 14 weeks, and I'm going to ride that. I think the Bills. Last week I had a bad feeling. People yelled at me about that. This week I have a better feeling. I'm going to take the Bills to beat the Jets 20-14. Say Bills by 6. Guys, let me know how you're feeling. Hit me up on Twitter. My Twitter handle and YouTube username are the same. And like I said, I want to know how you're feeling, because this is kind of the second best I've felt all season after a game. After the Dolphins game. Obviously, first would be the the Vikings game. But enjoy your weekend, guys. Above all else, as always, go Bills.